San Antonio doesn't whisper about boxing, it sings it from the rafters. The Alamo City knows how a fight week breeds how a press room starts polite, then tightens, then crackles when pride gets mentioned in the wrong tone. Today, it isn't just two names on a poster. It's a collision of tempos and temperaments, Pitbull Cruz pressure, teeth, and forward gears only versus Lamont Roach Jr., measured, meticulous, and walking into a louder weight class by choice, not by chance. Everyone came for words before punches. The question is simple: when talk turns to intent, which man sounded closer to fight night truth?
Good afternoon, welcome everyone. I gotta tell you, it's great to be back here once again promoting a big fight in the Alamo City. You know, San Antonio has such a rich boxing history with so many legendary battles, so many great fighters and great champions. And on Saturday, December 6th, we're gonna come right back with Pitbull Cruz taking on Lamont Roach. And Pitbull, as we all know, is a Mexican fan favorite. Lamont is coming off a controversial draw.
The dais doesn't lie about stakes. This sport needs a new star, the room hears, and it lands like a dare. May and September, the Mexican holidays are mentioned out loud. That's not subtle, that's a throne room invitation. For Roach, the promise is American pay-per-view crossover if he walks the fire at 140. For Cruz, it's stewardship, carry the banner, own the calendar, keep the flame. But promises are cheap until styles pay the bill.
Both fighters feel they can win this fight. And the winner of this fight will be in a great place heading into the new year in 2026. You know, this sport needs a new star. And with a spectacular Pitbull Cruz win, that could launch him into taking over those coveted May and September Mexican holidays. And a big win by Lamont.
The calendar creeps in again December 6th in San Antonio, a city that's already written chapters for Salvador Sanchez, Chavez Whitaker, and Charlo Castaño. The subtext is clear: you don't bluff in this building, you prove.
You recollect the likes of Salvador Sanchez, who fought here in September of 1980. Julio Cesar Chavez collided against Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker back on September 10th, 1993. Gennaro Hernandez, former world champion, legendary Mexican fighter, fought here in June of 1997. Jesse James Leija, former WBC super featherweight champion of the world, is from here in San Antonio. And in recent memory, over the past several years, it was Jermell Charlo colliding against Brian Castaño back in July of 2021 inside this building here at the Frost Bank Center. And this fight with Pitbull and Lamont Roach is truly a...
Before the fighters trade microphones, the fathers speak. Boxing is full of bloodlines and borrowed time, and you feel both when a dad steps up to outline a son's ambition.
Hello, everybody. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I'm so excited about this fight. Excited to be here in San Antonio, Texas. We fought here before. We had a good outing. It was a good fan base. I got some roots here in Texas with my fighters. I got some undefeated professional fighters, Rihanna Rios, Alex Rincon from Dallas, and George Rincon. So I love Texas. So everything's big in Texas, they say. So we're looking to have this big, great matchup between world champion Pitbull Cruz, world champion Lamont Roach. So these styles make for a great fight. We're looking forward to it. We know Pitbull coming, but we're going to be ready for whatever he brings to the table. My son said it before that he's ready to go on this legacy run. And right here, he's showing it right now by moving up to 140. We conquered 130. We really conquered 135. Now we're taking over 140. So we're here to make noise and make a statement. So again, I'm going to let the fighters do the talking and say what they had to do.
Lamont Roach Sr. doesn't waste syllables. They conquered 130, learned 135, and now they're taking 140 with intent. Legacy run, that's the phrase. Not a sightseeing tour and attempt to plant flags. He thanks everyone, checks the boxes, then reminds the room they're here to make noise.
All right, I want to thank everybody that made this possible, starting with PBC, Tom Brown, Al Heyman, Luis de Cubas, and my team, Roberto Diaz, Gary Jonas, and the whole No Excuse promotion team and Pro Box team. So thank everybody involved.
Across the table, another father with another blueprint. Isaac Cruz Sr. keeps it respectful and pointed. They're honored, they're headlining. And they cannot wait to pull on the show. Between the lines, they plan to make Roach's welcome to 140 distinctly unfriendly. Then the room gets what it came for, the fighters.
On Saturday, December 6th, here at the Frost Bank Center in San Antonio. Again, it is PBC pay-per-view on Prime Video. This man with a record of 25 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, won his world title back in November of 2023 with a clutch knockdown in the final round to defeat Hector Luis Garcia. Most recently challenged WBA lightweight world champion Gervonta Davis in one of the year's most memorable showdowns, going toe-to-toe. The fight ended in a much-discussed draw. Very proudly representing Washington, D.C., he is the reigning WBA super featherweight champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the always focused and determined
Roach walks up with a composed edge. Faith first, team next, mission always. He says he wants to bring back old-school boxing, the glory days, the ethic of fighting anyone, anywhere. This, he says, is why you go up and wait, to chase the danger that validates the dream. He promises a banger, not as hype, but as arithmetic. Pitbull is explosive. Roach believes he's the perfect dance partner to syncopate that storm.
I'd like to thank everybody a part to, make this big event happen. PBC, Tom Brown, Al Heyman, Luis de Cuba, our team, for sure, no excuse. My dad, Gary Jonas, Robert Diaz. I'm here, man. I'm excited. Like I said, I told you guys, y'all be seeing a lot of me coming in from my last fight, leading all the way up until, the match itself. I told you guys what I'm here to do. I want to bring boxing back. I want to bring old school boxing back. I want to bring boxing back to its glory days. And I think me accepting this fight with PITBULL CRUZ in another weight class, it just shows to prove that I'm here. And I'm definitely going to give you guys a banger. PITBULL CRUZ is a hell of a fighter, explosive fighter, fighters that you guys like to see. And I'm definitely the great dance partner to go along with him and complement his style. So just be tuned. It's going to be what you guys expect. And hopefully you guys are expecting me to win, obviously.
On cue, the resume across the aisle arrives like a drumbeat. The CRUZ calling card hasn't changed. He doesn't ask where you want to fight. He asks where you plan to stand when he gets there. He's been busy activity as identity. The more rounds you give Pitbull, the more he learns what to take away.
Everybody, thank you so much for having me here. I would like to, first of all, thank God for putting this opportunity forward in my career. I would also like to thank everyone that made it possible, from Sean Gibbons, Al Heyman, PBC, everyone that was involved in this fight. And also, I want to thank LAMONT ROACH for accepting the fight. So the idea in this fight, the goal, is to make the fans the true winners of the night. And that's what we're going to do. And this is an opportunity for me to furnish my legacy even more. So can't wait.
Now the room stops nodding politely and starts drawing lines. Did Roach expect Pitbull? Yes. He says the tank rematch was in limbo, so CRUZ was always on the radar. The move to 140 isn't a gamble as much as a reveal. He's not small, he reminds everyone, and he intends to show it.
Lamont, for you, as you prepare for this matchup, when they called you and they said Isaac Cruz, what went through your mind?
When they said Pitbull, I think Pitbull was always on the table. So let me clear something, first of all, for a lot of people. We already knew the tank fight was in a limbo, kinda. So let's just get that out of the way. Pitbull was always on the radar. So we weren't surprised. We definitely were ready. 140 wouldn't have been too big of a jump because I'm not a small guy.
What does a win do? Roach answers without blinking. It positions him for the WBC track names like Subriel Matias and forces other champions to say his name out loud. If he wins on December 6th, matchmaking becomes a conversation that runs through him, not around him. Cruz is asked the mirror questions. He's seen Lamont, respects the challenge, and repeats a theme: let the fans be the winners, and let the performance settle the talk. Activity matters. This is Cruz's third fight of 2025. Rhythm breeds readiness.
This is your third fight here in 2025, as I mentioned earlier. How much has your activity going to benefit you on Saturday, December 6th?
¿Cómo sentís que tu actividad, tu constancia en las peleas este año te va a beneficiar el 6 de diciembre?
Va a ser muy buena porque para eso me voy a preparar y para llevarme la victoria a casa.
It's going to be great, and that's what we're preparing for, getting that consistency.
Then the panel reaches for the common opponent, Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Roach praises Cruz's short-notice effort against Tank years ago stout, credible, but not quite enough to win. He calls Cruz strong and powerful, which is both honest and tactical. Compliment the danger, then promise to disarm it.
Davis, for you, Lamont, what did you learn in that fight against when Isaac Cruz fought Gervonta Davis? Have you watched it, and what did you take away from that performance from Pitbull?
Of course, I watched the fight. You know, his performance was a good performance, given he was a last-minute replacement. And you know, obviously, he gave him a tough fight, and at that point in time, Tank was the number one 135-pound fighter in the world. So I think he did good. My takeaway is that he did well. I just don't think he did enough to win. And but it was a tough fight. He definitely proved himself to the world that he's a tough fighter. He's a relentless fighter.
Cruz is asked what he learned watching Roach with Tank. He doesn't bite on film study theater. He keeps it inward. Focus on what I'm doing. We'll see what he has when the bell rings. And then the part San Antonio came to hear. Roach says he believes he can be the first to stop Pitbull Cruz at 140. Not as a taunt, he insists, but as a target. He always looks to break opponents. If the chance opens, he takes it.
Deservedly so, but in a recent interview, you said that you believe you're going to be the first man to stop Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Why so?
Like you said, I'm confident. I'm confident in my work, man. Like any other fight, it's not just Pitbull. It's like any fight. I'm always looking to hurt, demolish, stop any opponent. Like I look for that opportunity every single time in the ring. So ain't nothing changed. Like that's what I'm going to try to do. Like
Cruz responds like a man who's heard it all before. People talk in microphones, he says. The ring explains who was honest. He invokes the Rolly Romero fight as evidence. Talk first if you must, but be ready for the receipt.
Your response.
Bueno, acá Roach dice que está listo para demolerte, que va a ser el primero en mandarte a la lona, en noquearte. ¿Cuál es tu respuesta?
Nada, ya estoy acostumbrado a que hablen antes de tiempo y ojalá así como está hablando ahorita vaya a pelear el 6 de diciembre. Yo me voy a concentrar, enfocar en hacer una excelente preparación para pues demostrarle como a Rolly que yo hablo arriba del ring con los puños, sino con la boca.
There's really nothing for me to say because I'm used to people talking, talking their stuff before they step into the ring, and then we see what happens. So what I can say is that I'm going to show him the same way I showed Rolly, that if you talk before the fight, then you see inside the ring that trash talk goes.
Strategy peeks through next. Roach says he loves an aggressive opponent he won't have to find. That plays into his strengths, into counter windows, into rhythm. He says it plain: do what I do, and I win. The weight conversation follows, as it always does when a technician climbs a division. Roach calls the extra 5 pounds a gift: less cut, more strength, closer to a physical prime. Cruz promises the unfriendly welcome anyway: familiar weight, familiar pace, unfamiliar hospitality.
Concentrar en hacer un buen trabajo en el campamento.
Oh, we're definitely going to give him an unfriendly welcome to the 140-pound division. And yes, I'm used to this division, but at the same time, there is no way that I'm going to overlook him or think that just because he's making his debut, it's going to be some kind of easier path for me. I'm going to focus on what I can do, and I'm not going to underestimate.
The stagecraft turns to atmosphere. Can this be fight of the year? Roach goes all the way with it. Either it's a classic, or it's a long, punishing night for Cruz. No middle for him. He's not bluffing confidence, he's describing his operating system.
Towards the end of 2025, that this could be the fight of the year?
I think so. for sure. Uh, just like I said, my last fight, like it's either going to be fight of the year or, it's going to be a highly contested bout, or I'm just going to fuck him up.
Confidence, he explains, doesn't dip with venue noise. He likes hostile rooms. He likes how rowdy turns to quiet when a plan starts working.
Fight Town, how much are you looking forward to making that ring rock in what I believe is going to be a raucous and a loud atmosphere?
I've been here before. I fought in San Antonio, and I fought against a Hispanic fighter. Well, he wasn't Mexican, but it's still that, like you coming into enemy territory. So I've been here before. I'm used to it. It's nothing wrong with it. Like I'm okay with it. Like look at my last fight. a arena full of my opponent's fans, and then you got some here and there for me. So I'm used to it. It's nothing wrong with it, and I plan to turn some new leaves in some fans.
Do you thrive on that, or is it one of those things that the fans can't fight for the opponent and you just see what is the task at hand once you step inside the ring?
It's both. I do thrive on that because I love to hear the silence in the air after, like as the fight is going. Like it's super rowdy at first, and then they're like, oh shit. But then again, the fans can't fight for you. So, you know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. I know what I've done.
The KO questions return to Cruz. Can he stop Roach? Absolutely. He says everyone's human, everyone's chin can be taxed, and the objective will be pursued if it's there.
Well, Isaac, he has mentioned that he believes he can knock you out, but do you believe that you have the power to finish him off?
Bueno, acá Lamont dice que es más que capaz de noquearte, pero vos también tenés el poder, la potencia para noquearlo, ¿verdad?
Sí, totalmente. Sabemos que es humano y que también le duelen los golpes y no hay cosa imposible en esta vida y lo vamos a demostrar el próximo 6 de diciembre.
I absolutely can knock him out. He's human. The punches hurt for him just like they do for anybody else. There's no impossible task in front of me. I'm going to make sure that we are...
The MC pulls the lens back to legacy. Could a win make Roach the next big American star? He thinks so and points out that beating Cruz would force every name at 140 to engage. Cruz, asked about becoming the next Mexican standard bearer, punts the crown to the crowd. Win first, let the people decide.
Right now in boxing here in the United States, but do you believe that cements your status as being this new age American boxing star that can cross over to the general sports fan?
For sure. I think so, for sure. Pitbull is a superstar in his own right as well. He has a huge following in Mexico. Even here in America, like he's very notable. Like a highly ranked fighter in within the United States. So I think so. Once I win this fight, I'll be catapulted into, okay, all right, we have to see him fight this guy. We have to see him fight that guy. We have to see him fight that guy. Like that's what I like. So that's what it's going to do. That's what this win is going to.
Says being the next big Mexican boxing superstar to really carry the banner of Mexican boxing moving forward.
Isaac, ¿sentís que una victoria en esta pelea te haría el abanderado del boxeo mexicano, la nueva cara del boxeo mexicano a futuro?
Yo voy a trabajar para ganar mi pelea del 6 de diciembre y ya será decisión de la gente si así nos toma como referentes y representantes del boxeo mexicano.
That's not really up to me. I'm going to work towards winning the fight on December 6th. And then the fans can decide for themselves whether they see me as the new...
For Cruz, it's proving that the belt, the Romero stoppage, and the 2025 workload were chapters toward a larger claim. Those May and September nights with his name on the marquee. One more thought before we go. Press conferences are theater, fights are audits. On December 6th, all the talking points will be tested at 3 minutes a page. If Roach can time the entries, freeze the front foot, and meet aggression with two-piece exits, he can turn volume into void. If Cruz can crash the pocket, make the ring small, and carry activity from bell to bell, he can turn caution into panic and talk into silence. Your turn. Who convinced you at the mics? Measured conviction, or relentless certainty? Drop your pick and the one tactical key you believe decides it. Roach's counters over the top of Cruz's entries, or Pitbull's bodywork, drowning a debuting 140 inches the late rounds. We'll read the room, and then San Antonio will write the ending.